I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Right.
Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
Anyone claiming that America's economy is in decline is peddling fiction.
I've abandoned free market principles to save the free market system.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Raising the debt ceilings does not increase our debt. It does not somehow promote profligacy.
I know words. I have the best words. Nobody knows the system better than me, which is why I alone can fix it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Peddling Fiction Podcast. I'm your host, the voice and soul of so-called fiction, Johnny Profita. And back with me on a lovely Tuesday afternoon is the one and only Justin Hillbilly Boy Campbell. How you doing over there?
Not bad. Is it lovely there? It's kind of overcast and cold here.
Oh, no, it's a beautiful day here. Not a cloud in the sky. Day is nice and calm. I think we're getting close to this weather turning. It's still kind of like mid 80s with like really high humidity, but it's starting to kind of calm down a little bit. So I'm hoping in the next over the next 2 weeks we're gonna break through that fucking 75% humidity point and get into the winter here where the weather is beautiful. The whales come in. And,
we got mid 50s and rainy, so
yeah, that's nice weather if you don't plan on doing anything.
It
So
was nice weather for
fucking
taking a nap this morning, but yeah, it's not.
Yeah, it's great. Just like curling up on the couch or whatever.
That couch right there, as a matter of fact, with the Roseanne blanket and all.
Dude, it's gonna be like that background is gonna be seared into my mind like the set of a TV show at this point. I'm sure I've looked at it more than I ever did even every episode of Roseanne at this. How many times have we been fucking, how many episodes have we done?
Yeah. And I've been doing it out here in this garage for almost 2 years now. So
yeah, that is now the background set. Like fiction. Shit, the Roseanne couch. Anyway, this beautiful day here. Sounds like not so good of a day coming up in the U.S. as soon as the clock strikes midnight on November 1st.
at least not if you're a government leech.
We got a little. Don't you have a little fatty lined up for us?
Oh yeah, I do.
Very still. I'm working right now. This. Ouch! Oh, I'm sorry. Did my pen get in the way of your ass? Do me a favor and lose 5 pounds immediately or get out of my building like now!
Employee of the school district, I only get paid once a month. By the time I get my bills paid, I have nothing left to pay for food and other basic needs. If it wasn't for SNAP benefits, I wouldn't be able to feed my children or myself. I work, pay my bills, and like every other mom, I want to be sure that I have enough food to put on the table.
I don't think enough food on the table has ever been a problem for her.
It certainly doesn't look like it for the listening audience. She's coming in at, I don't know, at least 250.
Oh God, I think you're way low on that.
Yeah, I have trouble judging women's weight. I can do men a lot better. Yeah, maybe she's 3 bills. You also can't see her from the shoulders down.
I mean,
but she does have a pretty rotund upper body with no neck.
They say the lack of neck tells you all you need. She's built like Butterbean.
Yeah, it almost looks like her head was like photoshopped onto a body. Poorly, might I get.
And why is it that like every one of these people that's complaining about losing SNAP looks like this? Like, I'm over here starving to death, making six figures, and y'all are on SNAP getting. I mean, there are people who are getting their SNAP and EBT that are making $4,000-$6,000 a month on their government assistance. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's right. We went over some of those cases on the last episode, and if your X feed is anything like mine, you've just been inundated with stupid people just freaking out about these SNAP benefits not kicking in because of this is all just because of the government shutdown. The Democrats have put forth some sort of a single issue bill, apparently, to just release, I think it's $5 billion in funding strictly so the SNAP benefits for all of these leeches. They are fucking leeches. I'm sorry. So they can just get their SNAP benefits for the next month, even though the government shut down. And I'm sorry, that's not the way this works, Democrats. You don't get to vote against, I don't know, what was it, 13 or 15 continuing resolutions to fund the government and then be like, oh, but we want this one thing, so just sign this so the children don't starve, kind of thing. No, sorry, you shut down the government. And this is one of the consequences of your voting, which I'm all for. But dude, have you seen some of these the number of people that are on SNAP benefits?
It's insane.
43 million people. That, okay, either we have, I mean, I have been arguing that we've been in a recession since like 2009. If you have honest accounting for a lot of these numbers. But like, I'm sorry, dude, that's like 12% of the population. 12% of the population needs food benefits from the government every month or they'll starve. Bullshit, dude. That is bullshit. And these people, she's like, oh, I work. Yeah. What do you think that fat tub of shit does all day?
Right. She said she works for the school. Like, you said you work for the school. That means you're not a teacher. You're doing some administrative bullshit role that probably shouldn't even exist if it wasn't for the fact that the administrative state of public education is all that it is. Like that is what public education is it's all administrative bullshit that shouldn't even exist. It's like,
yeah. And if she is working for the school, then she's making enough money to feed herself and her kids, unless it's only a part-time gig, which is, you know, you see all these stats floating around. I don't know if you have some of them. I can pull up some of these stats that they throw around. They're like, oh, 70% of people on SNAP are working. They're not. No, there is a work requirement for young. She's not able-bodied, but like people between like, I don't know, what is it, 18 and 45 or something that are young, able-bodied people. You have to work at least 20 hours a week to qualify or something like it. I think it varies from state to state, but it's something like that. So to that extent, yeah, they work the minimum so that they can have as much free time, as much leisure as possible, and get all these and maximize the amount of benefits that they get. And that's one of the perverse incentives. The second you put one of these government programs in place, people are going to rearrange their lives in order to qualify for it. That's human nature. There is no fucking way on God's green earth that 40 million plus people need to be on food stamps.
Well, like you were talking about the bill that's being brought forward is like a single issue bill to fund SNAP. It's actually Senator Josh Hawley, a Republican of Missouri, is the one who's brought that forward, and he has 9 other Senate Republicans who are backing him on that. But it looks like it's going to be dead in the water as soon as it arrives because Democrats aren't going to vote for it. It's like, but then you get posts.
Which one was Bernie Sanders thrown out then?
Probably some other bullshit. Probably something that adds funding to a bunch of other stuff, but not actually to that. Because that's the big problem that they're running into is the Republicans have been trying to pass Biden era spending bills, continuing resolutions, and the Democrats want more. They want to add more spending, and they keep saying, "Oh no, we're not trying to fund health care for illegals," except that it's literally in their fucking spending package to put like 150 billion to funding health care for illegals. It's like, what? You can't say that you're not trying to do this when it's literally in the fucking bill that you have brought forward. And Republicans are the ones who are holding this up. Trump and Mike Johnson are the ones in charge. It's like, except that the Republicans all voted in favor of it, and if the Democrats would also vote for it, then it would pass. It's like, y'all are the ones who are holding it up. Yeah, I think the only Republicans not voting for it are Rand and Massey.
Okay. Well, yeah, there must be another thing floating around, because I saw Bernie Sanders peddling something that was just the way I read his post was this was just a clean release the $5 billion in SNAP funding so the children don't starve, right? And this is 40% of SNAP recipients are kids, 18% are elderly, 11 are disabled, and the rest 70% already have jobs. These are the talking points that you get from proponents of these welfare benefits. Now, I know we've talked about how much bullshit disability is. That's one of the biggest fucking scams that people like. The lady that we played on the last episode, she claimed all 3 of her kids were on disability. Like, and she was making over $6,000 a month in food and cash, just food and cash, not including the Section 8 housing that she was in, and then all the disability on top of that. So she had, if I remember correctly, had gotten like about $900,000 over 12 years worth of benefits. And that's just one example. Now, the rest of these, okay, 18% are elderly. Why are elderly people on SNAP benefits? What happened to Social Security?
Right.
I thought that was supposed to be the thing. Hey, isn't that why they're stealing fucking 30% of your 15% of your fucking income from the day you start working until the day you retire, so that you don't have to go on SNAP benefits?
So what you're telling me is y'all are taking all this money from me to fund Social Security, and then Social Security is not even going to pay me enough to be able to put fucking groceries on my table?
Apparently not. So not only is, I mean, this is why, again, dude, the perverse incentives of government programs, like the more people that are on it, they consider that a justification and a badge of honor for look how many people are on this. This is such a good program. No. That's a failure. The more people you have on it, the more you're failing as a fucking country. And on top of this, apparently Social Security, the biggest fucking Ponzi scheme that the government's running, and it, like, outside of its just normal operations, which is a gigantic Ponzi scheme, is an abject failure as well. Okay, so elderly should not be on it if we have Social Security, and Social Security is a success. So it's not, and they shouldn't be. The 11% disabled, again, 11% of 43 million people are disabled. Bullshit. They're just claiming disability of, I'm disabled because I have trauma or something. Get off your ass and get a fucking job. I'm sorry. 40% are kids. Yeah. Okay. Again, dude, what is the most basic function of being a parent? Is it feeding your kids? Is that job number one, is feed the fucking thing? Okay. So, like, I just have, like, in addition to just people being forced at gunpoint to fund these welfare programs, I hate the message that it gives our society. Like, you're not responsible for your kids. Other people should be responsible for your like, dude, job number one, having a kid, is to feed it. You can't do that. You can't do the most basic function of being a parent.
Well, like SNAP and the food stamp program came into existence at the end of the recession era, like late 30s, early 40s, going into World War II, when they had unmarketable food surpluses, and incredibly high unemployment rates. Like people weren't working, and they ended it. They ended it in 1943 because the market conditions that led to the necessity didn't exist anymore. So how did we go from a fucking recession, or I mean, not recession, full on depression, where people didn't have jobs and they had all this extra food and couldn't sell it, to trying to get rid of that and trying to help people who didn't have jobs get jobs in a depression, to now, like when you look at unemployment numbers and you look at like people that are hiring and stuff, the market for that shouldn't exist. We have plenty of food. We have plenty of jobs, but instead we've created this parasite class that just lives off of it.
And this is, and then you'll see people that like, oh, well, I want my tax dollars going to feed people. And, you know, not having a job doesn't mean you don't deserve to eat and all. Listen, dude, that program that you're talking about, the original one, did you ever see that movie Cinderella Man with Russell Crowe?
Mm-hmm.
Where he falls on hard times and takes the fucking benefits and he's super ashamed of it. And then at some point in the movie, he pays it back. Could you imagine that? Somebody that was on SNAP for a year or two goes and pays back everything that they fucking took. Because back then we had fucking morals and people realized where the money was coming from. This is not like nice, moral, generous behavior to advocate for a program like this. You're creating an entire, apparently 43 million people are now dependent on government handouts. How is that? First of all, having to force people, legislate people at gunpoint to take their money and give food to other people, that's not moral. That's not nice. That's not good. And then think about what you're doing to these people. I mean, if you have kids, you could spoil your kids rotten and make sure that they're just dependent on you for survival for the rest of their lives. Is that something you would do to somebody that you love? No. It's, you know, give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish, he eats for a lifetime. You don't want to have people dependent on this, but that's exactly what they are now. That's not nice. Again, that's not a good thing. It's not a nice thing to do to people.
Well, that was like at one time after I got divorced and changed jobs, and I was in my job that I started working in after I got divorced, I started out making $11.50 an hour, and I didn't stay making $11.50 an hour for very long. They figured out that I was actually worth a lot more than that, and I got moved up within 6 months, and that, you know, that was not a long-term thing. But for that time, I qualified for school lunches, and so I put my kids on school lunch until I could get, and like the goal was to not do this. It's like I can pay for my fucking kids' lunch. So like,
yeah, wouldn't you want, like, yeah, that would make me feel like a deadbeat.
Yeah.
And I obviously, yes, in certain scenarios for like a limited, in theory, it's like a safety net. It's like, oh shit, something happened. You fall on hard times. This will get you over that hump until you can get back on your feet. That's one thing. This isn't 43 million people. Dude, that's a lifestyle. These are people that have designed their life around receiving these benefits. They have no intention of getting off of them. It's not like you didn't know that this government shutdown was coming. So you had plenty of time to prepare. We had one under the last Trump presidency. The second he got elected again, you should know that they're going to try to shut down the government. And if you're dependent on these things, you should be taking steps to be like, oh shit, I might lose my SNAP benefits. I better get my fucking ass in gear and figure something out.
But it's an
that's
entitlement
not what they're
program.
doing. They're just like, I'm just going to steal it.
It's an entitlement program. They think they deserve it. They think it's owed to them. And if it's owed to them and you're not going to give it to them, then they're going to take it by force.
Y'all was clutching y'all purses before. This gonna be the time that you need to clutch them. Y'all was doing all that shit at the wrong time. But this is y'all time to show out. Show out then. I ain't gonna be mad at you.
If you're not going to the grocery store armed to the fucking teeth, you should be. And I mean, maybe not for me around here, but like, you know, if you live in a city.
In a city or something, yeah, when there's no sense of community or anything, yeah. It's why. So there was another. I'm trying to find the stat. I remember it, but I just want to have.
Well, while you're looking for that, talking about it's 43 million people who are on this. That's 43 million people who should be ineligible to vote. Like,
yeah,
you get to decide. Either you're a contributing member of society or you're a net taker, at which point you now no longer have a vote. You have to be relying on other people to you're already relying on other people to completely provide for you. So you have to be relying on other people to make your decisions for you as well. You forfeited your vote.
You can't just keep voting to take more shit from other people.
Right.
I'm sorry. That's not how this should work. And so somebody under that post where I was reading the stats, only looking at non-disabled adults receiving SNAP benefits, full-time employed was 7.3%. 7.3%. So, and that's among the 13.3 million non-elderly adults without disabilities. So, 7.3%, 970,000 were actually full-time employees.
And I would be willing to bet most of those are a similar situation as what I was in whenever I had the student or the free school lunches for the kids. And like, I never took any SNAP EBT. I just had free school lunches for the kids, and that was it. That was just to not have to pay the school for their lunch was, enough.
Yeah. And I mean, dude, also, I just understand, like, as a fucking taxpayer, I'd be like, yeah, any chance I could get claw some of this shit back that they're stealing from me, I would probably take advantage of it. So there you go. It's not 70% are working. 70% are barely working to meet the job minimum requirements for the program, to qualify for the program. 7% are actually have a job that does not pay them enough. It probably does pay them enough to feed everybody, but it's like, hey, I qualify for the program. Why wouldn't I take this? And then that frees up some money to do some other things.
And like, how many of that 70% that are working just enough to continue to qualify? Like, I ran a crew in Louisiana one year during harvest season, and they would send me in temp employees from a temp agency, and these guys would show up, work for the day, and then bring me their sheet at the end of the day, be like, can you sign this that says that I worked and you don't need me anymore? It's like, this is a crew that's going to run for the next 3 months. Like, I'm not signing your sheet that says I don't need you anymore. Like, I'm going to need you every day for the next 3 months. I'm like, I'm not signing your shit. They would show up for a single day trying to find somebody that would sign their sheet to say that they showed up and they worked, and then leave and go back to drawing their free benefits. That complete. I mean, as if I hadn't already been turned off to the whole thing anyway. Whenever I have multiple guys do that, every single fucking day, will come up at the end of the day with their sheet and be like, "Can you sign this for me?" And when you read it, that's literally what it says, is that you don't have any more work for them. It's like, no, I'm not signing this for you. Like, we pay y'all $14 an hour. Like, this is in rural fucking Louisiana. There's no way you're not making better money working on this crew than you would be sitting at home. And if you are making better money sitting at home than you are working on this crew, then this whole fucking thing is fucked up anyway and shouldn't exist. Right.
And I mean, go back to that lady that was talking on the last episode where she was getting $4,200 a month in food benefits. So if let's say if she worked more than 30 hours a week, she loses all 4,200 of it. Okay, so she's not going to work 31 hours a week. That would be retarded, obviously. So she's going to work 29 hours a week, or maybe whatever the minimum is, 20 hours a week. Okay, that's as much as she's going to work. Because if she works any more than that, then she's going to lose $4,200 a month. Like, they have created a perverse incentive and a class of dependents. And on top of that, I just sent you this chart because another one of these bullshit things you'll hear going around the internet is SNAP is not, rife with abuse and fraud. There's undocumented immigrants are never eligible for SNAP benefits.
Oh, wow.
And then you see this. This is from, yeah. So this is a chart. shit. What is something immigration? What is CIS.org? Center for Immigration Studies or something. Yeah, Center for Immigration Studies. .org. Put this chart up. So illegal head of households, 48% of them are collecting food welfare. 59% of them are collecting any welfare whatsoever. Legal immigrant households, 34% on food, and then U.S. born head of households, 25%. And of the categories, cash, food, Medicare, and housing, illegal head of households are a higher percentage at 2 out of the 4. And it's basically right in line at housing, 4 and 5%. Okay. So yeah, this is another one.
I thought illegals didn't get Medicaid, Medicare, any of the.
Oh yeah, it's impossible because on paper it says they don't qualify.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, apparently somehow they figured out how to do it, and obviously, like, this is why they're all coming over, because they're getting these benefits that we can't afford to give. And yes, I do realize that this is a drop in a bucket when you take into account the entire government spending. It's almost beside the point. I don't like the message it sends to people. It's I had this on Twitter. It's like somebody was talking about, like, oh yeah, this is only like $5 billion or $30 billion, whatever the number is. That's not bankrupting us. It's like billionaires are bankrupting, some retarded communist shit. This is morally bankrupting the country. We are morally bankrupt. We have a bunch of people that think it's okay to sit on their ass and collect things that other people work for. And then you have a bunch of other people who advocate for the programs, but are too lazy to stroke a check. They advocate that you pay for the things that they value. They're not stroking any fucking checks. All these people that say, oh yeah, I'm fine with my tax dollars going here, and everybody should be able to eat. And yeah, I don't want people to go hungry either. But I want the people that actually need food to get it, first of all. And I want it to be on a voluntary basis. There are plenty of food banks and there's plenty of private money, especially all these people. I mean, what does it take, like fucking 2 hours to crowdfund some dude that stabs a kid to death, give him a couple $100,000? What would it take all these people that claim to love SNAP? Okay. Crowdfund it. Crowdfund a fucking private program and start giving these people their benefits, which, by the way, they're all going to get anyway in a week when the government reopens. Like, I'm sorry, dude. If you claim to be this moral person and this is one of your things, and you don't want you think just because somebody's not working doesn't mean they don't deserve to eat. Okay. Open up your fucking check, stroke a check. Go ahead and pay for it. You don't get to demand that other people pay for it. That doesn't make you a good person. And creating an entire class of people dependent on others doesn't make you a good person either. You're not doing them any favors. You're trapping them in poverty, which is an evil fucking thing to do. Ugh.
Well, I mean, we've talked about this a bunch. The DEI stuff and now the SNAP stuff. Like, this is all effectively creating its own slave class. Like, you are now a subject to all of this. And so I mean, they're mad about stipulations on it and stuff. It's like you sold yourself into slavery for this. Like, so yeah, crazy, right? There's going to be stipulations on what you have to do for this stuff, and it might get cut off.
Right. Well, and not only does it enslave the people that are dependent on receiving the benefits every month, but the people that have to pay for it every month, it enslaves them too, to an extent, because whatever it is, 5% of their income, 10%, I don't know how much of your tax dollars actually go to these programs, but whatever it is, it's taking from you a certain percentage of your earnings, which keeps you tethered. It keeps you trapped. To an extent, you're 5% less wealthy than you would be before. And that shit, compounding over a lifetime of work, that adds up. So this is not some benign program. This is not some morally virtuous program. This is bullshit. This is a cancer, and it's morally bankrupting the U.S. And dude, these retarded. I mean, every dollar in SNAP benefits generates $1.5 in GDP. Like these retarded, like you can't.
Did we talk about the chart or the thing that like explained GDP? Like whenever they talk about how like all these Democrat cities have these great GDPs and stuff, and like it gave an actual breakdown of like how they calculate GDP. And then when you get into looking at it, it's like, oh yeah, it's all fucking bullshit. Like these are all manufactured numbers that make it look like cities really do something, but honestly, they don't actually do anything. They don't produce anything. It's all like it's all just a fucking card game of shuffling the deck to make it look like you got the numbers.
Yeah. I don't specifically remember that, but there's a bunch of analogies that go around, you know, to Keynesian economists are stuck on an island with one hat, and they just keep selling it back and forth to each other for like $100, and they're generating all this GDP, right? But it's the same hat, just changing hands, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Yeah, GDP is a horrible measurement. The way they measure it does not really reflect economic growth or activity. And I mean, I would love to see one of these communist idiots explain how $1 in SNAP generates. I've heard 1.5, 1.73 is what I'm looking at now. Like it just okay. How explain that to me? How does that work economically? Because if that's the case, we should take every single dollar and put it through SNAP, because it turns into $1.73 apparently of economic activity. All right. Economic illiterates. It is so frustrating, man. And I mean, these people, they are going to go ballistic when they don't get their benefits, because they do feel like we have created a disgusting entitlement class, especially among the oppressed. All these people that us straight white males have been oppressing in society. They think that the world owes them a living. They are entitled to everything, and when they don't get it, they're already stealing. They're stealing in addition to having their EBT. They'll just walk into a store and fill up a cart and walk out with it.
I like the Mark Twain quote. He said, the world owes you nothing. It was here first.
That's a good one. I don't think I heard that. But yeah, it's like, food should be a right and healthcare should be a right. No. Yeah, you have a right to life, but that just means that you have a right to go out and pursue a life. You can go out and do that. Nobody can stop you from doing it. It doesn't mean that other people have to be forced in order to provide you with a life. That's not how this works. And this is just there's really no, the Democratic Party is the worst at this, but the Republicans are not much better. They're maybe one iota better. Like they're still in favor of all these programs. Nobody's talking about really getting rid of any of these things. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I saw that one.
Food stamps by ethnicity. Who's getting their EBT cut? Afghanis, 45.6%. Somalis at 42.4%. Iraqis, Dominican, Caribbean, Native Americans, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, and then Black, Arab, Cambodian, Haitian at 23%, Pacific Islander at 21%. And if you go all the way down to the bottom, Indians at 4%, Italians at 7.6%, white at 8.6%, and Chinese at 9.6%. I thought it was crazy that Italians were separated from whites, but
yeah, all the way down there at the bottom, like the smallest bars on the chart. Yeah.
Well, and there, the people who don't understand per capita are always like, oh, there are more white people on on government assistance. And okay, let's look at the stat, the actual percentages. Like
per capita is undefeated. It is undefeated. But this is, I mean, we are just so far gone as a country. It's, like you pointed out earlier, this was supposed to be like an emergency thing during the Great Depression 100 fucking years ago, almost. And now it's just become a way of life for 12% of the country. They're just going to live on SNAP in perpetuity. That's the implication here, right? Like, you should be getting off of SNAP at some point. November 1st would be a great time to start when the benefit goes away. So maybe you go out and you get a fucking job and you feed your kids. I'm sorry, dude. When did we stop demanding the most basic responsibility out of people? Like, can we just not pretend that people are just completely worthless sacks of shit? Like, feed your kids. That's not a high bar. That's not a high bar at all. That's as low as the bar can get. Feed your fucking kids. Oh, well, they start hemming and hawing, and no, have some fucking standards as a society. Is why this country is so fucked. There's no standards. There's no demand for excellence. And we're not even trying to demand excellence at this point. We're just saying you got to do the bare minimum. You got to do the teeniest, tiniest bit.
The basic, essential shit to take care of yourself and your kids. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all we want.
And apparently that's way too high of a bar. And that means, we want all the kids to starve to death. It's like, no, I don't want kids growing up thinking that their parents can't, are incapable of feeding them. It's not a good message to send to your kids. And that, you should be on this government program, just get free stuff because you exist. Therefore, other people have a responsibility to fund your existence.
Well,
that's bullshit.
And you see it in particular poor communities where as soon, you want a daughter because as soon as your daughter comes of age, then they're trying to get them knocked up so that they can start having kids, so that they can get on these programs, so that they can start getting them. So then you got your daughter living at home with her own kid, and then you're getting doubled up. You're getting more and more because they're not doing it by household; they're doing it by individual.
Yeah, oh god, dude, we have to get rid of these things. We have to get rid of them. And no, people are not just going to start dropping dead in the streets from starvation. I guarantee you that will not happen.
Not for a couple months anyway, based on the body fat that most of them are carrying. They can sustain for a while.
You can literally live for 3 weeks without food, without eating anything, nothing. So yeah, we eat way too much as a fucking society anyway. You should probably only be eating one meal a day.
I am proof that you can survive for almost a year on barely being able to eat anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I didn't have.
I think it's time for they should just all be doing fasting. It's all the rage right now. It's supposed to be really good for you. Start fasting. You can have one little tiny meal every fucking 3 days or something. I forget how these fasting things work. But I guarantee you it'll probably cure their diabetes. They'll lose 150 fucking pounds in a month. They'll be much better off than getting almost a fucking blank check every week or every month to just spend on poison, to just poison yourself over and over and over again.
And trading their money or trading what they could be spending on poison for drugs and whatever else.
Bro is waiting in the dispensary parking lot, asking people if they have any spare roaches. I don't think y'all understand the crash out levels is about to go through the roof. No food stamps equals no to less weed money. Y'all about to have people out here hangry and sober. That's a diabolical combination. Because the food money got to come out of some budget, and that's the first one it usually comes from. All I'm saying is just be nicer to people in these coming days, because that blunt and those snacks may have been the only thing stopping your coworker from putting you first in line for a meet and greet with God Almighty.
It's not a coworker, but yeah. Yeah, not a coworker, but yes, of course they're selling these fucking things to buy other stuff. Obviously, yeah, this whole thing it's a disaster. It's fraught with disaster, and there's just a million ways it can go wrong. It's just all of these government programs are an unmitigated disaster.
I mean, it's a whole fucking market into itself of people selling their food stamps and their EBT and their SNAP for other stuff. Like, I mean, holy shit. And I guess, like, if you didn't grow up in like a poor community, you might not have ever seen it, but it's fucking nuts. And I mean, it from a young age, it turned me off to the whole thing, because it's like, wait, like, you're trading food stamps for cigarettes, and it's like,
of course, yeah. I mean, dude, if these people didn't have vices and they weren't spending all their money on fucking drugs and cigarettes and alcohol, they would have money for food. Food is not, I mean, yes, prices have been going up. Inflation is going up, but you'd be able to feed yourself. A sack of fucking rice and some fucking hard-boiled eggs, some beans, tortillas, that shit is cheap. That shit is real cheap. And then even the garbage is cheap too. What's a big fucking thing of ramen cost?
That's like between me, my wife, and 3 kids at home, I think our grocery bill per month is like maybe $1,400. I know between what I spend and what Stephanie spends, like $1,500. Like, what do these people need $6,000 for? I couldn't believe that they're getting that much money. I mean, that's just crazy. That is crazy. And again, it's, first of all, yes, we cannot afford it as a country. We are bankrupt. And yes, I know it's a very small percentage of what the government is spending overall. That's beside the point. Just because we're spending so much more money we don't have on other bullshit doesn't mean that spending X amount of dollars on this is okay. But yeah, dude, the fact that they're giving that much money to people for food, and then just walking around, here's some cat, like, here's your allowance every week, is just crazy. And there's no end, like, you're never going to get them off of this unless you just completely take it away. Take it away. It's gone. And then you find out who actually really needed it and who was just bilking the system. We have to purge it. You have to fucking purge it. And that's why it should be done privately, because the private institutions, the churches and things that are doing this, they know who actually needs it in the community. They know who's, cancer diagnosis or something, can no longer work, is in the hospital, family, needs to feed his family for a couple of weeks or something. They know who in their community needs it and who's just a deadbeat fucking meth head that's trying to get their next fix. So yeah, just a horrible message to send to society, horrible thing to do to people in general. And I don't know what else to say about it other than all of these people on fucking X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, that are proponents of this program. Start your own thing then. Start your own SNAP. Privately fund it and dole it out to these people. The way that they all got pissed off a couple months ago whenever Maha was going to put restrictions on what kind of junk food they could buy. Like, you weren't going to be able to buy sodas and candy and bullshit. Like, whenever they freaked out about that, it's like, you're supposed to be using it for fucking groceries. Why do you need all of this bullshit anyway? It's like, you should be
grateful that you get it anyway.
Right. That should have showed everybody what a fucking joke this whole program is anyway.
Yeah. That's their true colors. It's like, oh, I can't get everything that I want with the money. It's like, yeah, no. It's not your money. This is a gift to you, and you can use it for what we say you can use it for. And you should be fucking goddamn grateful that if you really needed this, that you can still put food, actual food on the table for your family, thanks to the generosity of others. But no, oh, I can't buy my fucking sodas and my fucking Snickers and shit. Fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, man. God damn, is it infuriating. It is absolutely infuriating. We have become such a pathetic country, man. Such a pathetic country. Demanding the smallest amount of anything. And
well, and then for the people that are actually working, that are actually trying to do the right thing, that are providing for their families and everything, then they're getting fucked on the other end by all the health insurance bullshit.
All right, the health insurance industry is an absolute sham. I don't know how I'm paying $1,500 a month for health insurance, but every single person in my policy has a $6,000 copay, which means I've been going to the doctor all year. I thought my copays went towards our premiums and the amount that we had to pay to get coverage. However, it doesn't. My wife just had a serious event. She had to go to the hospital. She had to have life-saving surgery. And we got a bill in the mail from the hospital for over $3,000 for this procedure. And I'm thinking back, like, I'm paying $1,500 a month for this health insurance. I've personally paid thousands of dollars over the course of this year in copays for myself and stuff that I had to go to the doctors for. So I'm sitting here thinking, like, I'm going to spend $1,500 a month for the next 12 months. What is that? Like 18 grand. And then I have to spend $6,000 a person just to get them to cover things. So you're looking at, we have 5 people in our family. If all of us have to go to the hospital, that's $30,000 in copays that we have to pay on top of the $18,000 in monthly charges to actually get coverage. As a father of 3, I'm strongly considering canceling our health insurance policy, which feels very irresponsible and wrong, but I can't remember the last time I spent over $48,000 in a year in health costs between copays and health insurance and all of this stuff. If I just pay cash, I'm never going to pay anywhere near that amount. For instance, the surgery my wife just had, if we paid cash on that surgery and we didn't have insurance, it would have ran us about $1,200. But because we had insurance and the insurance wasn't going to cover it, we have to pay what the insurance was going to pay, which is over $3,000. Are other families seeing the same thing? Maybe I'm just being unreasonable and crashing out here, but it just doesn't make sense to me. Please drop a comment.
He's 100% right. We've started going to a local doctor that doesn't do insurance. And whenever she sent me to have my CT scan done on my chest, if I'd gone through insurance and had the CT scan done, it would have cost me over $2,000. I paid $500. It was like $563. And that was it. And I go in, they do the scan, give me all the results. Like, didn't have to go through insurance or wait for insurance to do all the billing. And then 2 months later, I get a bill. This is what we're doing. Pay straight up. Like insurance is absolutely a scam. There's no reason to do it. If I wasn't legally required by divorce decree and the courts to have insurance on my kids, I 100% would not fucking have insurance right now.
Yeah. And again, dude, this is the brainchild of government trying to do something. Like, there is no way that capitalism would produce a system this convoluted and retarded. Nobody likes it. Nobody would fucking pay for it. Nobody would support it. This is how the government does things. It's so ridiculous. It's so overly complicated. And dude, 50 grand a year in fucking insurance? That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. Yeah, look at this chart. I'm just so glad that, the Obamacare just made this all so affordable.
All right. Did you see the article that, who was it? It was New York Times, or one of them put out an article about how the Affordable Care Act was never actually going to be affordable. Like, okay, thanks for telling us what everybody that had a fucking, 2 brain cells to rub together in 2008, 2009 was already telling you. Like, it was like, what would Obama say? Like, this is a chart for those listening of the average family health insurance premiums from 1999 to today.
1999, it was 5,800. Today, it's 27,000. Nailed it. And Obama would say, "Oh, your premiums are going to go down by $2,500 a year. And if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. And if you like your healthcare plan, you can keep your healthcare plan." Bullshit. Bullshit. They have completely fucked this up. And it is, I don't know why I don't have health insurance. As soon as once I quit my job, I'm like, no, I'm not. Dude, I paid tens of thousands of dollars in health insurance for 18 years. Never used a fucking thing. Well, I did break my wrist once. So I don't know what that it didn't cost me that much, just the co-pays or whatever. But like, okay. Right? Like, I was telling you, dude, you could have come down here to Mexico and gotten your fucking esophagus shit done probably that same week for a couple $100. And yeah, I mean, there are good doctors down here in Mexico. There are other countries, over in like Southeast Asia, like Singapore and fucking Thailand and shit. Like, there's great fucking healthcare in these other countries. You just go over there and fucking pay for it out of pocket. $50,000 a year to use any of the shit, but that's just before. That's what you have to pay before your insurance kicks in. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. And imagine, yeah, right. I mean, imagine if you just took 50 grand every year and threw it into an S&P 500 index fund, and it's like you go a couple of years without some sort of devastating economic downturn and without some sort of devastating health event, and you're fucking golden. What's the average annual expenditures for health insurance per household consumer unit? 1984 to 2020. So this is my lifetime here. Under $500 in 84. Health insurance. What's the other Affordable Care Act trend? Yeah. Yeah, you gotta turn on the video for this. But yeah, this is what the government. This is what happens when the government comes in and says, "I'm going to make something more affordable. I'm going to help you out here." They're not going to help. They are going to make it exponentially worse. Exponentially worse. And there was already a ton of government intervention before that. This is. We have to stop. I just don't. I think eventually it just has to collapse under its own weight. And I think we're getting to that point. If you just looked at, we're spending over $1 trillion a year now just on the interest, just on the debt service from all the debt that they've racked up, fucking up the universe.
Well, that's something that I was talking about with the doctor that we started going to here in town. She was talking about the Affordable Care Act and the direction that effectively the industrial hospital industry has been going in. And she's like, this thing can't last. She's like, it's going to implode under its own weight. And right now we're just kind of, she's like, I feel like people are going to start figuring this out pretty soon because it's gotten more and more out of control over the last 4 or 5 years, like exponentially so. Like Obamacare hurt that. And then COVID just like kicked it into overdrive.
Yeah. Yeah. All the emergency shit that they claimed was necessary for COVID is still going on. And we've increased all the spending from that emergency. We can't even go back to pre-COVID spending levels on anything. Otherwise, they're ripping this away from you. They're ripping this away from you. Bullshit, dude. It's so ridiculous. And the amount of people that have not figured out how this game works yet is way too goddamn high. And of course, they're taking the wrong lessons away from all of this. The amount of young people that are in favor of just going the complete opposite retarded direction, like more of this, but just put gasoline on all these fires in the form of straight up communism, is way too high. And AOC, Zoran Mamdani, these are the people that are leading the Democratic Party now. AOC is probably going to run for fucking president. in 2028. She might be the best candidate they have. I don't know. Yeah. I like, dude, who else do they have? Gavin Newsom? Okay. But yeah, like this is apparently they look at everything that the government has done so far and be like, oh, we need to do it harder this time. Then it'll work out.
So dumb.
Yeah. And I mean, dude, that is the trajectory. Like that's how this works in every country. You have a free market. Like if you were lucky enough to have some sort of free market capitalism, the government just starts gradually fucking digging into all of these sectors and fucking them up and causing more and more problems, blaming it on greedy billionaires or whatever. And of course, the solution to that is more government. And then it gets worse. And then they're like, oh, well, we just need more government. And then it gets worse. And we need more government. It gets worse and more and more and more. And then we just need total government. And then that'll fix everything. And that's when you get, Venezuela, Cuba, an unmitigated disaster, the complete and utter collapse. That's when people start dying of starvation.
What was it?
It's
Zimbabwe? Zimbabwe, we can all get $1 trillion bills. Hell yeah.
Dude, they had like $100 trillion bills, I think.
Who do we
put
put on
a $100 trillion bill?
Who do we put on the $1 trillion bill? Put Obama on that?
Dude, can you look up and see if they have a $100 trillion bill? Because I think they did. It's kind of hard to keep track of all the zeros, but I think they had a $100 trillion bill.
Yes, they did.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we just need to print more money and give it to people, obviously.
Oh, look, you can buy one of these. You can buy one of these for $239. So.
$100 trillion in one bill. Like, what can you even say? That's when people start dropping dead on the streets from starvation. When you have total government control of everything. Not when you get rid of government programs. No one has ever starved because the government stopped doing things. It's never happened. It's literally the exact opposite. When the government takes total control of things, that's when hundreds of millions of people starve to death.
And
it's
honestly,
not when you let capitalism thrive.
And honestly, this is going to sound, jaded, but if somebody starves because government stopped, okay, like you kind of fucking deserved it. Like figure your shit out. It's not that hard. Yeah, right. And if we as a society value charity and things like that, then it won't happen. It just won't happen. If you are in favor of these programs, then they will get done voluntarily, absent the government's role, and they will get done better and more efficient. And if you don't really believe in it, then it won't happen, I guess. But then this whole democracy thing is a farce, because if it's the will of the people to fund all of these welfare programs, then you shouldn't need the government to force people to fund them. If they truly believe in them and they're truly morally good people, okay, why do we need to be forced to do it then? Anyway. Oh, what a disaster. What an unmitigated disaster. Hey, but stock market all-time highs. All-time highs. Just ripping higher. Over 26,000 on the NASDAQ today. Almost 48. Did we get to 48,000? Not quite. We rejected right off of 48,000 almost on the Dow. S&P almost 6,900. Got above 6,900 briefly. But this is, we're just gapping up now. All-time highs. Everything is great. Hope it keeps doing that once I put all that money in some stock.
Yeah. I'm close to break even on one of the worst stock purchases of all time. My all-time career. I didn't actually. I mean, I authorized the purchase, but it wasn't a move that I made. That's when I had somebody else in charge of my money. We're almost at the break-even point. Like, I don't even know how long I've had this fucking stock, but yeah, we've gone from under $1 up to 10. Well, post trading, it's at 10.25. I need to get to 10.56 to get the fuck out.
I can confidently say that the vaccine passport is not going to happen, because the only thing I've really put money in the last 5 years was a company that was like touted as they were going to be the ones who were making and distributing the vaccine passports whenever COVID was hitting. And I was like, all right, I'll throw some money on that. Like, if we're going to be stuck with this bullshit, I'm going to at least make money off of it. That thing has zeroed out and shows no sign of ever going anywhere other than zero. So that's, I mean, it sucks that I lost some money on that, but at the same time, it's like, okay, I'm happy to lose that. Yeah, I'm happy to lose that money.
Oh yeah. Jim Cramer'd that one. Beautiful.
I mean, if there was one to Jim Cramer, that's the one. Like I'm going to take credit for that. I'm proud of myself for making that all by myself.
We appreciate it. All right.
Well,
let's you got a hard out.
Something fun, because I got about 5 minutes, then I got to go pick up the kid.
Okay. What do you got?
The auto pin.
Oh yeah, shit! I forgot about this.
The U.S. House Oversight Committee has deemed all President Biden executive actions null and void, including pardons performed by White House staff and signed by an auto pin. The committee demands an immediate investigation by Attorney General Pam Bondi. Congressman James Comer said, "We are calling on the U.S. Department of Justice to conduct a thorough review of these executive actions and scrutinize key Biden aides who took the fifth to hide their participation in the cover-up. The D.C. Board of Medicine must also review the actions taken by the President Biden's physician to hide his true condition. We have provided Americans with transparency about the Biden auto pin presidency, and now there must be accountability." And if you look further into what's going on with this, I don't know about the stuff with the physician, but Pam Bondi is moving forward with the investigation into the auto pin stuff and trying to nullify basically everything that was done through the entire Biden presidency, because it was all auto pin.
Yeah, I really think we were the first ones to break that story live on this podcast.
Because we were sitting here looking about it. We were sitting here looking at it, and it's like, every single one of these fucking signatures looks like identical.
Yeah.
And
before that, nobody had ever really talked about it.
And then a week later, it's like, oh, everything was signed by AutoPin. It's like,
all the pardons. Yeah.
Called it.
God, I hope. Yeah, that's pretty.
Because that's what it was. It was the pardons. It was like, how is this signature so spot on, like dead perfectly the same on every single one of these pardons? It's like, oh,
yeah.
AutoPin.
Yeah, not even like the same like signature, but it was like the exact same like ballpoint pen. It's like everything was exactly the same. And I had not seen anybody anywhere on the internet talking about how all of those fucking pardons were forged. So God, I hope they can go after Fauci now. Oh, I hope they can go after Fauci. Fuck that.
What's he doing now? Did he like ride off into the sunset? And
yeah, he's probably gonna die before they can actually get him.
Oh,
is he writing a book?
No, he had West Nile earlier in the year and has been laying low. Apparently, West Nile almost knocked him out.
Oh, okay. I'm sure he wasn't working on some West Nile virus thing either.
Oh, wow. He was hospitalized for almost a week and has been laying low since then, just trying to recover. Like I guess it took it out of him.
That's a shame. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
Yeah, I know. Sure.
Okay,
I'm sure all the dogs in heaven are cheering him on, hoping he recovers.
Is there a West Nile vaccine? If there isn't, why isn't there one? Oh, fucking Fauci. What a piece of shit. What an absolute piece of shit. But we can get all those guys for fucking lying to Congress. That would be great. We'll have to see what comes of this. I just feel like with Pam Bondi, they keep announcing all of these things and then just nothing happens. It's like for a week, it's pretty exciting, and then you just kind of forget about it like a month later. It's like, oh, what the hell? Remember when didn't like Tulsi Gabbard say that like they had like, oh, we got proof that Obama committed treason or something, and she's sending it over to the Justice Department, and then just nothing. We're done.
Yeah,
with that
I looked at that. You would have to have a really loose definition of treason for
it was more like
sedition would be a better
right.
Yeah,
but like
I think we did talk about that. It was like treason is not the right word. It was more seditious than anything, and even then, it was definitely not a good look, but not necessarily something that would qualify as actionable. It was. I mean, yes, it wasn't. I can't remember exactly what it was he did, but it wasn't great. But also, it'd be hard to provide, or it would be hard to establish a legal precedent for doing anything to him on that. But the auto pen thing, I mean, what auto pen have been used once, maybe twice prior to the Biden.
Yeah, and it was always like, oh yeah, the president's like in fucking, I don't know, over in Europe or something. He can't physically be there to sign it, so he'll use the auto pen thing. Not, oh yeah, he's a fucking brain dead dementia patient. Let's pardon everybody that fucking did shit for the last 14 years.
Yeah.
And it's motherfuckers. Yeah. All right. I know you got a hard out, so we gotta get out of here on that. But yeah, hopefully a glimmer of hope we can fucking prosecute some of these scumbags in Washington.
At least Hunter Biden. I just want to see him go to jail. That's it. That's it. I don't even care about the rest.
Yeah, weaponizing the DOJ. Oh, okay. So hopefully, maybe we'll have an update on Friday on that. Probably not. Government works kind of slow. But we will be back on Friday with a brand new episode. Thanks for listening, everybody. And until then, you know what to do. Just keep on peddling that so-called fiction. Peace.